Hello guys, in this video we are going to discuss the solution of the problem buy and sell a share at most twice. So let us look at the problem statement. The problem statement says that in daily share trading a buyer buys share in the morning and sells them on the same day. If the trader is allowed to make at most two transactions in a day, the second transaction can only start after the first one is complete. So buy, and sell. The stock prices throughout the day are represented in the form of an array of prices. So let us try to understand the problem with the help of an example. So in this example, this is the price array which is given to us, and to ease the explanation, what I'm going to assume here is I'm going to assume that this is the price of the share on particular day. So this is the price of the share on the first day. So this 10 on the second day, 22 on third day, it is rupees 5 and so on till 6th day. Okay, I know in question it is bit different than this, but it is not going to impact the problem as such if we go ahead and assume that this is the price given on different days. Okay, so with that assumption, let us proceed forward. So now this is the price which is given to us, and what we can do is we can go ahead and sell a stock and then buy a stock, and we are supposed to do it twice, and by doing so we have to maximize our profit. So in this particular case, the maximum profit which we can obtain will be something like this. So let us say I bought a stock with rupees 10 and then I sold this stock for rupees 22. So the profit I made here is 12 rupees. Okay, similarly I bought the stock with rupees 5 and then I sold it for rupees 80. So the profit I made over here is 75. So combining these two profit, the actual profit I have made or the total profit which I have made is 87 rupees. So this is the maximum profit which we are going to obtain by selling and buying the stock twice. Okay, and this is what we have to return. So that's about the problem statement, folks. Now let us try to understand the optimal way of solving this problem. So in order to understand the problem optimally, let us take the example which we have. So this is the price of the share on a particular day. Okay, and then we have these four variables with us, which is first buy, first sell, second buy, and second sell. What it simply means is first buy is just what is the optimal way of buying a stock for the first time. Okay, and we will walk over an example in order to understand what I actually mean by optimally buying a stock for the first time. Well, just to give you a heads up, in order to buy the stock for the first time or in order to buy the stock optimally, I need to buy that stock at the minimum price possible, right? Similarly, the first sell is you sell the stock in such a way that you maximize your profit. Okay, and then once you have bought and sell the stock for the first time, then the remainder amount or the profit which you have made is something which will be there with the variable first sell, and then with this first sell you go ahead and buy the second stock. Okay, and now once we buy the second stock, so we need to buy the second stock again in such a way that we maximize our profit. Similarly, when we are selling the stock for the second time, we have to sell the stock in such a way that we maximize our profit. So that's the general idea about these four variables. So remember this table I'm making just for explanation. In our coding, we will not use any table. We will just be relying on these four variables and we will be able to solve the problem. So I have just made these four so that we could understand how these four variables are getting changed. So now let us work with the example. So let us say right now I have 0 rupees with me. Okay, so the money which I have right now is 0 rupees. Now with 0 rupees I go ahead and bought the first stock. So at this time the price of the stock is 10 rupees. Since I have bought the stock for 10 rupees, then I am in debt of rupees 10, and let us represent the debt by minus sign. So right now I am in a debt of rupees 10. Okay. Now let us say I go ahead and sell the stock on the same day. Okay, so I bought it for 10 rupees and then I sold that stock for 10 rupees. So now once I have sold that stock for 10 rupees, so then I will get 10 rupees in return, because of which my money, or the amount of money which I will have right now, will be 0 rupees. So after buying and selling the stock for rupees 10, the money or the profit I made is rupees 0. Okay. Now let us say for second buy, let us say again we go ahead and bought this stock. So again, once we have bought the stock with 10 rupees, so again we become in debt of rupees 10. Okay. Again, let's go ahead and sell the stock for 10 rupees. So once we have sold the stock for 10 rupees, so the money which I'll be having now is 0 rupees. Okay. Now let us look at the second case when I am going on the second day, which is 22 rupees. Now when I am at 22 rupees, I have an option of either buying the stock for 22 rupees, or I have the option of buying the stock for rupees 10. Okay. If I buy the stock for rupees 22, then I will be in debt of minus 22 rupees, or I'll be in debt of 22 rupees, right? So it makes sense to buy the stock for 10 rupees, right? So what we are trying to do over here is that between these two values, I'm choosing the minimum value. Okay. So since minus 10 is the minimum, so I'm going to go ahead and buy the stock of 10 rupees rather than 22 rupees. Okay. So since I bought the stock for 10 rupees, that is why the debt I have right now, or the money, or the amount of money right now I owe, is 10 rupees. Okay. Now let us say I have bought the stock for 10 rupees and I go ahead and sell the stock for 22 rupees. So here minus 10 is the amount of money I owe, and 22 rupees is the amount of money I have sold it with. So the profit I made is 12 rupees. Now this 12 rupees, so remember my intention is to maximize my profit. In this way, if we go ahead and buy and sell the stock, then I'm making 12 rupees of profit. Whereas in the first way, I was making just 0 rupees of profit. Okay. So what I'm going to say is that I have to maximize my profit. So I'm going to buy and sell the stock in this way, and the maximum profit I can make is 12 rupees. So the 12 rupees will come here. Okay. Now 12 rupees I have, and I went ahead and bought the same stock for 22 rupees. So I had 12 rupees with me, and then I went ahead and bought a stock for 22 rupees. Since I bought the stock of 20 rupees, the money I am debt with is rupees 10. So here again I am at debt of 10 rupees. Similarly, here also I have written it as such minus 10. But one more analysis which we have to do is I have to buy the stocks in such a way that I maximize my profit, right? And this minus 10 rupees simply shows that I am in debt of 10 rupees. Here also I was in debt of 10 rupees. Okay. So since both the amount are same, so we can go ahead with minus 10 rupees. Once the amount differs, we will go ahead and explore that case also. But for now, let's proceed forward. So right now I am in debt of minus 10 rupees, and then I went ahead and sold the stock for 22 rupees. Okay. So once I sold the stock for 22 rupees, so the profit I made is of 12 rupees. So that profit I am going to go ahead and make it 12 rupees. So remember here, this 12 rupees of profit which I have made is greater than the 0 rupees which I have made if I make the transaction in the first way, right? Since 12 rupees is greater, so my objective is to maximize my profit. So that is why I have gone ahead and made it 12. Okay. Similarly, here if we come to this position, now here I have an option of buying the stock for 5 rupees, and previously I had an option of buying the stock for minus 10 rupees. Oh, sorry, 10 rupees. Okay. Now it makes sense, since I want to minimize my first buy, so it makes sense to minimize my debt. So I will be going ahead and buying a stock for 5 rupees rather. Okay. So now I have bought a stock of 5 rupees, and then I went ahead and I sold that stock for 5 rupees. So if I sell the stock, bought it for 5 rupees, and if I sold it for 5 rupees, so the profit I will make is 0 rupees. Okay. But we have seen that there is a way by which I'll be able to make a profit of 12 rupees, right? Since there is a way of making a profit of 12 rupees, so I'm going to go ahead and stick with that way of buying and selling the stock rather than the latest way. So that is why I'm going to go ahead and maintain this 12 rupees with me, okay, or this profit with me. Now after buying and selling this stock, I have a profit of 12 rupees with me, right? Now with 12 rupees, I have went ahead and bought a stock of 5 rupees, right? If I buy a stock of 5 rupees, then the money I will be left with is 7 rupees, right? Now here, if you see, if you buy and sell the stock in this way, then the amount of money when you will be making your second purchase will be 7 rupees, all right? Whereas here, if you see, the if you buy and sell the stock and again you go ahead and purchase the stock for the second time, then the amount of money you were making, or the loss or the debt which you are having with, is minus 10 rupees. So which make more sense? Well, this makes more sense to me, right? So that is why we are going to go ahead and maintain this entry, that this is how I'm going to buy and sell the stock, so that my profit is maximized and the profit is 7 rupees. Okay. Now let us say right now I have 7 rupees with me, and then I went ahead and sold that stock for 5 rupees, right? So since I have selling that stock for 5 rupees, so I made a profit of 5 rupees. Now the price I have is 12 rupees. Well, this 12 rupees and this 12 rupees is same, so I'm going to maintain the same entry, which is 12 rupees. Okay. Now let's move forward. Here I have an option of buying this stock for 75 rupees, whereas I have an option of buying this stock for 5 rupees also. So I'm going to go ahead and use this option rather than buying this stock for 75 rupees. So now here, right now I am in debt of 5 rupees. Okay. Now 5 rupees of debt I had, and then let us say I went ahead and I sold the stock for 75 rupees. Now 5 rupees of debt I had and I sold the stock for 75 rupees, right? So the profit I have made is of 70 rupees. Clearly this 70 rupees of profit is more than this 12 rupees of profit. So I'm going to go ahead and maintain this entry rather than the other entry. Okay. So right now I have 70 rupees with me, and then I went ahead and bought a stock of 75 rupees. Since I bought a stock of 75 rupees, now the debt I will be in debt. So 70 minus 75. So now the debt will be of minus 5 rupees. And now this minus 5 rupees is not the optimal way of purchasing the stock, because I have a way by which I'll be able to purchase this second stock in 7 rupees. So what I'm going to do? Well, I'm going to maintain this entry rather. Okay. Now after making the second purchase, I have a profit of 7 rupees with me. Okay. And then I am going ahead and selling a stock of 75 rupees. So the profit I have made is 7 plus 75. All right. Which is equals to 82. Now clearly 82 rupees is greater than 12 rupees. So I'm going, and my objective is to maximize my profit. So 82 is what we are going to maintain. Now let's move forward. Here 65 rupees, I have an option of buying a stock of 65 rupees, and here I have an option of buying a stock for 5 rupees. So clearly I'm going to go ahead and buy a stock for 5 rupees, because of which the debt I will have is minus 5 rupees. Now if I am buying a stock for minus 5 rupees, or the debt is minus 5, and I'm selling the stock for 65 rupees, then the profit I will make is of 60 rupees. Now this 60 rupees of profit is less than the profit which we have made earlier. So that is why I'm going to go ahead and maintain this entry, which is of 70 rupees. Now after selling the stock for the second time, the amount of money which I am left with is 70 rupees. So what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to go ahead and buy this stock for the second time. So the second time when I bought it, now the amount of money I will be left with is 5 rupees, which is 7 minus 65, so 5 rupees. Now this 5 rupees is less than 7, so we are going to maintain 7 rupees. Okay. So after buying this stock for the second time, I have right now the money which I have is 7 rupees. Now 7, if I sell this stock for 65 rupees, then the total amount of money I will have is 65 plus 7. So let me just write it down over here. 65 plus 7, which is equals to how much? Well, 70 uh, 72 rupees. Now 72 rupees is less than 82, so I'm going to use the other one, 82 rupees. Now again, I have an option of buying the stock of 80 rupees, or I have the option of buying a stock for 5 rupees, so I'm going to choose 5 rupees. Then I will sell the stock for 80 rupees. Now, right now I'm in debt of 5 rupees. Okay, right now I am in debt of 5 rupees, and then I'm selling a stock for 80 rupees. So the amount of money I'll be left with is 75. And since 75 is greater than 70, so I have updated this entry to 75. So after buying and selling the stock for the second time, the amount of money I'll be having with is 75 rupees. Now with 75 rupees with in my hand, I'm going to go ahead and buy the stock for the second time for 80 rupees. So the money I'll be left with is minus 5 rupees, right? And now since this minus 5 rupees is less than 7 rupees, so I'm going to go ahead and maintain 7 with me. Now with 7 rupees in my hand, I'm going to go ahead and sell a stock for 80 rupees. So the amount of money I'll be able to have is 87 rupees. And since 87 is greater than 82, so this is the profit I'm going to have. And after doing all these things, the answer or the maximum profit will be there in this particular variable, which is second cell, and this second cell, and this is what we are going to return in our function. Okay, so I hope the explanation was clear. Now we have understand it. Now let us see how are we going to go ahead and update these variables as and when we move forward in our loop. Okay, so what we are going to do is, so let us take the case for first buy. Okay, so how are we going to update it? So what we are going to do is, we are going to go ahead and set first buy to minus infinity. Okay, which simply means right now I am in debt of infinite rupees. Okay, now what we wanted to do with first buy, we wanted to minimize our debt, right? So what I want, or if you see this entire thing, I wanted to find the minimum element of in the price, right? So the minimum was 5, and which is what is there here. And as and when we are moving forward, we are maintaining this minimum with the first buy, right? So right now when we were here, the minimum was 10, so that is what we have maintained, and this minus sign is just to show that I am in debt. Okay, when I was at 22, the minimum was 10, so that is what we have maintained. When I came to 5, the minimum was 5, so I have updated my 5. Here also you see 5 is the minimum, so this is what we are maintaining. So how are we going to go ahead and update first buy? Well, the way we are going to go ahead and update first buy is, so first buy will be equals to, so I wanted to minimize my debt. So let me just write it down. So first buy, the debt I have right now, or the debt I will have if I choose to buy the stock at this particular index, right, at ith index. Okay, so this is how we are going to go ahead and update our first buy, right? So at every time I want to minimize my debt, since we are dealing with negative sign, so that is why I have used here max rather than min. Okay, please note I am dealing with negative sign here. Okay, so this is how I'm going to go ahead and update my first buy. Now first buy we have understood it. Now let us look at how are we going to go ahead and maximize our first cell. Well, first cell is equals to maximum of the first cell which I had before. Okay, and the initial value of first cell will be 0. Okay, so the profit I have made after selling the first stock is 0. Okay, so first cell maximum profit, or if I am selling the stock at the price of ith price plus the amount I owe with. Okay, so now I want to get the profit, so the profit will be equals to selling price minus cost price. So this is how we are doing it. Remember, this is my cost price, this is my selling price. And since in cost price I have negative with me, that is why I'm adding addition rather than subtraction. And this is how you will be able to maximize your first cell. Okay. Now let's look at second buy. So again, second buy, the initial value will be minus infinity. Okay. And the way we are going to go ahead and update is again max. Since we are dealing with minus infinity, that is why max. Now here the intention is to right now I have a profit which I am maintaining in this variable, right? The first cell contains the profit so far I have made, and I want to maximize that profit. So now the maximum profit will be equals to the profit I have made so far, or the amount of money which I have after selling the stock minus the price of the stock I am buying with. Okay. So this is how our second buy will come into play. Okay. Now the last step, which is my second cell. So in second cell, we are trying to maximize our profit. So initial value will be 0. And this is how we are going to do. Well, this is equals to second cell, the maximum profit I have made so far, or the amount of profit I'm going to make by selling the ith stock. So second buy is the amount of money I have plus the price of the ith stock. Okay, so this is how we are going to go ahead and update. So that's about the explanation, folks. Now let's jump to the coding section and see how we will be able to code it. So the code looks something like this. So here right now first buy is minus infinity, second buy is also minus infinity when first cell and second cell are set to 0. Then I'm iterating on the elements of the price. I am updating my first buy, first cell, second buy and second cell as per the explanation, and then I'm returning the second cell. So that's about the code, folks. Now let us submit the solution. So our solution got accepted. So that is all from this video, folks. In case if you have any question or comment regarding this video, please feel free to use the comment section and I will try to address them. Thank you.